every 5 years, from Kampala to Gulu, from Mumbale to Mumbarara. Ugandans line up with hope in their hearts. They stand patiently for hours under the African sun, believing that this time their vote will finally change their lives, their children's lives, and the future of their nation. But as history has shown, costly mistakes repeat themselves, turning hope into a cycle of disappointment. One of the biggest mistakes is choosing entertainment over competence. Look at the campaign rallies. The crowds go wild for the candidates who dance the best, who play the loudest music, and who put on the most exciting show. It's a festival, a party. But we forget a crucial truth. Leadership is not a performance. Governing a country isn't about how well you can dance on stage. It's about your ability to solve real problems. And that brings us to the second mistake: rejecting the thinkers. We often see serious leaders with structured plans, charts, and data trying to explain how they will fix our economy or improve our healthcare. But they are quickly branded as too complicated, too boring, or out of touch. Our collective psychology seems to favor simple slogans and easy promises over substantive, detailed solutions. We dismiss the very people who have the intellectual capacity to lead us forward. Then comes the third, and perhaps most corrosive mistake: selling the vote cheaply. A few thousand shillings, a t-shirt, or a ride to the polling station can feel like a great deal in the moment. Campaign trucks roll through our towns, distributing small handouts and temporary excitement. But these small gestures are a trade-off. We exchange our long-term well-being, good roads, functioning hospitals, and jobs for our youth for a fleeting moment of relief. This leads to the fourth mistake: voting without asking the right questions. On election day, many people cast their ballots casually, without deep reflection. Few pause to ask, what exactly am I voting for? What is this person's track record? What are their concrete plans? We make decisions that will shape our lives for the next 5 years with less thought than we put into buying a new pair of shoes. The impact of that casual decision, however, lasts for years. And then, 5 years later, the consequences become painfully clear. This is the fifth mistake: forgetting history. After the elections are over, we find ourselves on the same broken roads, in the same dark streets, and in the same overcrowded hospitals. Our youth remain idle, and we cry out for the very services we ignored when we stood at the ballot box. We forget that the vote, once cast, cannot be reversed. The results are final. Mistake number 6 is empowering mediocrity. When we elect weak leaders, we get weak policies. When performers, not planners, fill our parliament, accountability disappears. They laugh, they shout, they focus on theatrics, while the institutions they are meant to strengthen begin to crumble. A nation's progress is directly tied to the quality of its leadership. By settling for less, we ensure our own stagnation. Finally, the seventh mistake is chasing away. When our political landscape becomes a circus, our best and brightest minds withdraw. The intellectuals, the innovators, and the true public servants are either silenced or they leave the country altogether, creating a massive brain drain. This vacuum doesn't stay empty for long. It is quickly filled by more performers, more entertainers, and the cycle of mediocrity continues. But these mistakes can end. It all begins when we, the citizens, start to value competence over spectacle, substance over style. When we demand real plans and hold our leaders accountable, elections can finally become the powerful tools of progress they were meant to be. The most expensive mistakes Ugandan voters repeat every 5 years are entirely avoidable. We must remember that leadership is not entertainment. It is a profound responsibility. Let's think before we vote. The entertainment will fade, but the consequences of leadership will last for generations. Thank you for watching.